Hello, welcome to the review for homework 4.1, Order of Operations, ACE problems 1, 2, 8 through 21 on pages 69 and 70. For the last couple of days, we've been talking about order of operations, or how to evaluate expressions with multiple operations and parentheses and brackets and exponents. And there's an order. In order to get the answer correctly, you have to evaluate the expressions in a certain order. The first thing you start with is groupings. Are there any parentheses, brackets, anything that says I need to do these first? Next, you need to evaluate any exponents. Then you do multiplication and division, left to right, and then you do any remaining addition and subtraction, left to right. So these are all homework problems that just help you practice your order of operations and make sure that you're evaluating them in the right way. So question 1, for each pair, find the values of each pair of expressions. So you'll notice that there's a pair. A has two different values. If you look closely at each between B and the two values in B and the two values in C, they're the same expressions, they just have brackets added to differentiate what order you solve them in. So the first one, negative 12 plus negative 4 plus 9, I have parentheses, so I do the negative 4 plus 9 first and get 5. Negative 12 plus 5 is negative 7. Now, because I have brackets, I do the negative 12 plus negative 4 first, so I get negative 16. Negative 16 plus 9 is negative 7. So those answers are the same. For A, you get negative 7 and negative 7 for both. For B, the first thing I need to do is the exponent. So 2 cubed is 2 times 2 times 2, or 8. Oh, I'm sorry, I should have done the parentheses first, but that's fine. So the parentheses, 14 minus 20 is negative 6. Negative 6 minus the 8 in the exponent, you get negative 6 minus 8 is negative 14. So here I do the parentheses first. 20 minus 2 to the third. Within the parentheses is an exponent, so you do that first. 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. 20 minus 8 is 12. 14 minus 12 is 2. So you get different answers here, negative 14 and 2. For C, again, we have brackets, so we do what's in the brackets first. 14 plus negative 20 is negative 6. Negative 6 plus negative 8 is negative 14. We do brackets first. Negative 20 plus negative 8 is negative 28. 14 plus negative 28 is negative 14. This one has a lot of ones, but they're all in brackets, so you just have to pay attention. Negative 1 plus negative 1 is negative 2. Negative 1 minus a negative 2 is negative 1 plus 2, so that gives you a positive 1 for D, the first part of D. Here we have to do negative 1 minus a negative 1 first, and that gives you a 0. Negative 1 plus 1 is 0, plus a negative 1 is negative 1. So D, you get positive 1 for the first one and negative 1 for the second one. So they ask you, which cases leads to expressions with different results? B and D. So A and C, you got the same answer no matter where you put the brackets. But for B and D, you got different answers, and that's because of subtraction. It's the whole associative and commutative and moving things around type thing that you can't, or I should say associative, your parentheses. It doesn't matter what order that you're doing in, but with subtraction it does. Anyhow, so moving on to the rest. So in problem 2, you had A through F, and then you had problems 8 through 21. So these are all, again, just going through the order of operations, taking your time, looking for groupings, finding the way that you should do it. So for 2, you should do the parentheses, 5 minus 3 is negative 2. Then negative 2 divided by negative 2 is a positive 1. Positive 1 times, oops, when I fit there, 5 minus 3 is 2. 2 divided by negative 2 is negative 1. Negative 1 times negative 1 is a positive 1. For B, you should have gotten negative 5. For C, negative 26. For D, 20. For E, 6. And for F, 42. If you're stuck with any of those, see if you can figure out a way to get the answer that I got. And if you're still stuck, come in and ask me. Say, Mrs. Lefevre, how the heck did you get number negative 26 for this one or 42 for this one? Because I can't figure it out. So please let me know. I want to see on your papers when you're marking them that you've checked whether or not it's right or wrong. All right, and our word for the day is going to be rain, since it seems to be raining all the time. So R-A-I-N, rain. Okay, let's look at the rest. 8, you should have gotten positive 110, negative 110, negative 1, positive 1/4, 36, 36, negative 12, 2, negative 3, 3,500, negative 3,500, negative 100, 6,000, and 760. So those are just reviewing your rules for adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing negative numbers. So again, hope you did well with those. If not, just let me know and we can talk about them later. Thank you.